Hi there, it's Shelly again. I wanted to tell you all the details about mama letters. So let's begin. I told you a little bit about why we write mama letters, but I'm going to tell you exactly now how you do it. Well, the first thing I want to show you is what you're going to receive right when you get to camp. Let me find it here. Sorry, I thought I had it opened up. What you will have is we will send to you a list of, not a list, but a mama letter worksheet. So let's show that to you. You'll get a worksheet that will come to you through email, and it'll be a Word document. And this is what you'll use to complete for each one of your campers that are in your cabin. There's some information that you only have to fill out once, but then there's some information that's unique to each person. So this is what the general worksheet will look like. Let's assume that I'm a cabin counselor in cabin 1 and that I'm going to start writing the information down about one of my bunkies named Louisa. Let me show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to get this worksheet, and I'm actually going to start filling it in. So I put at the top Louisa's name. Now you can do this by hand if you want, but I think that for some of y'all it's easier to do in Word. So I write Louisa's name down here, and then I just start filling in the information. So the first question asks, you need to know your camper's parents' name. And this is on a big sheet that you'll give. So I write down Dr. and Mrs. Ortega. This is the way I will address their letter. Then I start filling in some information that I'll be prompted about. Now this I'll only have to fill out once, but it's good to have it written down so that you can remember it. So I have my co-counselor's name. Her name's Donya Rose. She's from Raleigh, North Carolina, and she's a graduate of Davidson College. Now number 3 asks you to write down a few sentences about why you like Nakanawa or why it's special to you. Those of you who have been to camp before, this is going to be an easy question to answer. Those of you who are brand new, that's great. You will see it with fresh eyes. So you'll be able to capture what you feel is important to you about Nakanawa. Like the things I wrote about were things like this. My years as a camper at Nakanawa have inspired me to now give back to camp by being a counselor. I feel as if this place has made me the person I am today. I've learned so much about friendship, teamwork, and interacting with others. I especially love the traditions of Nakanawa. So I'm just telling a little bit about myself and why I love camp, and I go on and on. Number 4, now this is where it starts to be really specific for your counselor, your camper, and here again we're talking about Louisa. So number 4 is, the topic here is disposition, her friends, and her cabin mates. It says, be creative. Tell a story about Susie Camper and her friends. Help her parents see what a great time she's having at camp. So for Louisa, I try to paint a picture to her parents of what a wonderful time she's having. And this is one of the things I say. Louisa is such a sweet little girl. Though she is the youngest camper in our cabin, and though English is not her first language, she is the leader of our cabin. She's always smiling and very happy. She's teaching the other girls Spanish songs and dances. We love to giggle and have fun together. There is never a dull moment with Louisa. So I'm sort of trying to paint a picture, and they will feel comfortable knowing that she, just like they know her to be, is a happy little girl. Here again, number 5 is unique for Louisa. In this one, you're going to talk about her favorite class or classes and why she likes them. And again, I've captured a lot of this information by talking with her through our devotion times or by watching her in class. Louisa's favorite class is canoeing. This is a surprise to you, I know, as she has never been in a canoe before. She loves to paddle around the lake, especially during our free period called Free Swim, when she and Alexa love to go out on the lake together. Though they do not paddle far, they seem to love to talk with each other and to explore the beautiful lake together. So again, the parents have a picture of Louisa being out on the lake and doing something she's never done before. Number 6 is the goals and hopes for the future. Remember what I said, this is something that's really unique to this little girl. It's not lofty ambitions, it's just something that she wants to try to accomplish. It's not something related to a medal or an award. It's something very special and unique. In my example, I said Louisa wants to be the best flower in the operetta this summer. She loves the songs from the musical and sings them all the time. Her goal is to make their song the best that it can possibly be. And how can she fail? The girls in cabin 1 perform their songs whenever they can. I'm the audience applauding loudly as they sing and dance in our cabin. Our cabin has the cutest little girls singing with their most special voices. I know that the operetta will be just wonderful because of Louisa's positive attitude. Again, we've painted a picture of her and her special little goal that she has. And the last question that's really unique about this particular bunkie is to say something great that your bunkie has done, said, or accomplished. Any good stories to share, anything you didn't cover. And so here I come up with a little story. One day, another little girl in our cabin was homesick. Louisa told her that they should go down to the nature hut and play with the bunnies. It seems that Louisa knew that holding a little baby bunny would help her friend feel better. And it did. She is such a sensitive, caring little girl. So a special little story like that really touches a parent's heart. And then the last part, you will close your letter telling them something about something that will happen in the next few weeks, like a free day trip or a cabin night. And this is something that is not unique to Louisa. It's something that will go into each of your bunkie's letters. And this is just my closing. I'm so happy to be the counselor in this cabin with the youngest girls of camp. What an amazing experience. Every day is a new adventure. Whether it's hiking to the beautiful Cumberland Cove, swimming together in cabin night, or enjoying evening entertainment, playing games like Double Trouble. Our girls love their big sister cabin, Cabin 11, and they look forward to spending time with the older girls. Every day is a wonderful adventure for them and for us. We are looking forward to a fun afternoon this Sunday when we will play Nakanawa Olympics. Please look for some great pictures of that day on our website. It's going to be fun. So, this is your worksheet. And now you're saying, okay, I've done the worksheet. What do I do next? Well, let me show you what happens next. What we're going to do is actually go in and enter this information. And let me find it. Sorry. Hang on one second. Let me minimize this. It's in one of my links here. I will send you this link. So you'll get this in the mail and you'll get a little link that says your junior link is here. And it will be an input sheet like this. So remember, you've got the worksheet. Now what you're going to do is actually enter in your real information into this information. You're going to do some entry and some cutting and pasting. So in this situation, remember you wrote down Dr. and Mrs. Ortega. The camper's first name is Louisa, Louisa. My first name is Shelley. My last name is Landau. Cabin 1. And I think we're supposed to write it like this. This is my, no, I think we write it as number 1, sorry. It will say it on the input sheet. This is my, gosh, I'll just say it's my 10th, but I know it's not. But I'm just pretending. It's actually like almost my 30th. 10th summer at Nakanawa. And I'm going to pretend that this is my first summer as a counselor. And I'm going to say that I'm a graduate of, and this is where you put all your information, Vanderbilt University, where I majored in math. I am from Crossville, Tennessee. If you're from a country, you could say I'm from Paris, France, or you would put the country name. What do I teach at camp? I teach nature. And my co-counselor's name is Danya, and her last name is Rose. She's from, and all this is on my little worksheet, but I'm going to just type it in. Raleigh, North Carolina. And it is her, she is a graduate of Davidson. I think it's a college. And if you have another co-counselor, you would enter that information here. If not, you just skip it. So we're going to go right down here about why I like Nakanawa and why it's important to me. Well, remember, that was on this form here. So it says why I like Nakanawa and why it's important to me. So, and this is not going to be entered in red. So this is a big no-no. It will be entered in black. I just did it in red so you can see it. So I'm going to do a copy. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do a paste. And there it is, it shows up. So that's what you're going to do about each one of these things that correspond to your worksheet. So we'll do the same one for the next. Disposition her friends. So we go down here, we'll copy this, we'll paste it, and we continue all the way down. Something about that, close your letter. So each one of these, we will be able to do that, and then when you're finished with that, you will enter submit. But let me explain one thing to you. See all these things with little asterisks? Those are things that are unique for Louisa. When you go back and do your next camper, you won't have to do all this preliminary information here. You're only going to have to do those things that have the little asterisks here. So you don't have to re-enter your counselor's name, and you don't even have to re-enter a story about yourself. You just re-enter the things about those other bunkies that are unique to them. So you would only do this block, this one. So you do the disposition, favorite classes, goals, and something great that she's done. So you only have 4 pieces of information that you'll input. So that makes it pretty easy. You're not having to retype it each time. So what happens when you sent that in? I'm going to close out our worksheet. Let me close out our little link sheet here. What happens when I get this? Let me just give you a little bit of a lowdown of this, just as a little background information. Hang on just a second. So what happens is that this goes into a humongous spreadsheet, and it will have all of these headings like this, and this is what myself and some of the other counselors will be editing. So we will go through this spreadsheet. When you submit it, it goes into a huge spreadsheet, and we will edit each of these pieces of information. It's very tedious, but we will edit it and change it for you. If there's a huge problem, we'll come back and talk to you about it. But basically, we will take care of doing all the editing for you. And then another question that you ask is, what does it look like when it's done? Well, when it's done, it's compiled, and all of this is merged together. This one does not have our letterhead sheet here, but it will have an Economo letterhead on it, and it's printed out in nice small format and in a small envelope that you'll address. But this is how it looks. So here's my letter. Dear Dr. and Mrs. Ortega, hi, I'm from Cabin 1. I'm so happy to be a counselor at Camp Economo this summer. My name is Shelley Landau. What it's doing is actually like a Mad Lib. It's pulling those pieces of information that you entered and merging it together and creating a letter. So that's how it works. The important thing is that you complete your worksheet. We'll help you through that when you first get to camp. And that you enter the information by copying and pasting, not just doing it on the fly for those big pieces of information. So I know this is a lot at one time, but feel free to look at this again, and you can see the process that works. We'll be around to help you with it. It's a lot of fun, and it really means a lot to the parents. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you at camp. Okay, bye. Let me close this down. Shift, Command.